Morning everyone. Anybody here yet? Morning Karen. Morning Auntie Pat. Hope you're both well. Who else have we got watching? Peggy. Morning Peggy. Who else have I got at the top? Is that Anne? I can't see. I can't make out all the pictures. Julie. Morning Julie. Anybody else? Got 9 people watching at the moment. Put your name on there and I know who you are. I can't make out the little icons at the top sometimes. If they don't have your face on them, I can't always see who they are. Well, a very happy new year to everybody. Hope you had a nice Christmas and happy-ish new year. I know it's all very strange at the moment. Morning Jacqueline. Morning Judith. It's all been very strange, hasn't it? So it's nice to have some flowers and some gardening to keep us busy and just get on with the beginning of 2021, I suppose. So very strange time for everyone, but at least we've got this to you know, sort of mull away the days a little bit. So so that's good. Right, we'll just wait to see if anybody else wants to come along. I know I was a bit late today. I forgot to put the Oasis in water, which doesn't take long, as you know. And you know about Oasis, most people know about Oasis. We're using a brick of Oasis this morning, and we need about 3/4 for this little pot that I'm filling here today for our front facing arrangement. I won't be using gerbras like it had on the picture, but that was just an idea of a front facing arrangement. That's one I did a while back. Morning, who else has joined now? I can't see who you are. Say hello if you're there. Morning Mum, see Mum's picture. Jennifer, morning. Morning Mum. Eileen, morning. So I've got a few more people now, so I'm just going to have a little drink because my throat's dry today. Nothing serious, just a dry throat. So I think we'll crack on now. Okay, right. Right, so with your florist knife, we're going to cut, we want about 2/3 of a brick. The bricks are actually marked up as well if you're not aware of that, but so just roughly 2/3. So if you've got your florist knife, just go through and just cut that. There we go. So you can put that aside. Hopefully you can use that. Watching from Durham, who's that? Jennifer, morning. Oh, keep moving the camera. Who else have we got there? Wendy, morning from Manchester, morning. Right, if I don't say hello, it's because I haven't looked up when your name comes up. I only get a couple of seconds to... So basically what we're doing is we're just shaping it to the size of our pot, because you don't want it too tight. You want the water to be able to drink around the side as well. So roughly about maybe 1 centimetre higher than your pot is fine. And I just shape away the edges, just basically, just to get a nice finish in there. We don't need to line it, obviously, because it's a waterproof pot. Morning, Michelle and Wendy. I think I said morning to Wendy. So just put a little bit of pot tape just to secure it. This is a 6mm pot tape. I have put some mechanics on the with the Amazon links if you want to. These are the things that I use, and I get most of them. Obviously I get mine from wholesalers, but I also buy them from Amazon as well when I'm stuck, because they're so quick and it's here the next day, isn't it? So they're pretty quick. So if you want to have a look at all the mechanics, I have actually put them in a PDF. It's in the file section at the top, so you can have a look at that. Morning Caroline. So basically we've just taped our Oasis into our pot, and this is a front facing, so basically we want to make sure we're getting the proportions right, and it's generally most of the time it's a sort of triangular front shape. You don't have to do a triangular shape, but I'll teach you that way because that's the most popular that trainers will show you. I've got some yucca leaves here that I've pinched from my garden, and if you're going to do this, pick nice ones that you've got nice finishes with on the end, so not sort of dead end ones, otherwise you'll end up having to cut them. Yeah, these are fun, although I do have rubbish on the back of that one. Okay, so I'm going to use these to outline. Morning, Carol. We're going to use these just to give us some shape, some outline shape. So obviously we don't want it that big, so we're going to cut these down a little bit less. Just think about, you can sort of put it behind and think about how long you're going to have it. Just sort of shape it so that you want it the right height. So I tend to do a nice sort of sharp edge on these just so that it sits nicely in the oasis. So that gives us our back line. Alright, morning Faye. So the next two are going to be slightly shorter because they're going to come in a little bit. So measure it from the other one, and again, just cut the tips if they're not. I thought they were prettier than that, but they're not as pretty as I thought. Okay, and then we're going in from the side. So this one's going in from the side, and just bring it down a little bit from the top one. And then one more. And we're going to bring this one down a little bit further on the other side. So again, nice sharp edge. Morning, Mick. First guy today. So we're going to bring that one down. And you can bring that one down a little bit more as well if you want. It's a bit like when we did the candles at Christmas. So you're just getting your shape at the back. Alright. Now I'm going to use some more yucca leaves, or you can use phormium leaves, but I'm going to do those with loops, so we'll put them more at the front later on. Alright, so we're just going to continue to outline. I've also got some boxes here, which I use quite a lot of, and I've got some pistache. This is very pretty. You get this from the Florist. I don't think you get it anywhere else. You might get it in when you buy a bouquet from the supermarket. Sometimes you get this one. It's called pistache. It's lovely. And I'm also going to be using some pittosporum from my garden. This is a new one I've grown this year. Hasn't grown very fast, so I'm hoping it'll take off because it's a bit of a it's a variegated one, but it's like a green variegated one. So it's really quite pretty. So we're going to use some of that as well. So now what we want to do, we want to get our proportions. So we want to get our outside shape here as well. Went a bit dark then, don't have no. So we want to get our outside shape as well here. So we're trying for our triangular shape. So I'm going to use some bit. So I'm using the boxes, and I'm just going in on the sides just to make the triangular shape. This is what you're after. So you're after this triangular shape, and then you're going to come forward in your triangular shape as well. So I can come back a little bit. So these are your points that you're looking towards. Okay, so that's what you want to try and keep your design within those within that shape, so you don't lose the shape of it. So we're going to put a few around the front as well. Just use different foliages that you've got. Around the edge, and if you dot them around and use different foliages, you get nice different bits, different forms of texture. That's a little bit long. Morning, Suzanne. So doing a little bit, fill in a little bit at the back as well. Because although you're not going to see the back, I never leave the back fully open. Morning, Evelyn. Okay, so that's your idea. I think it's me getting in the way of the... So can you see that? So the idea is that you keep within this triangular shape. It's almost like a diamond at the bottom, but you must try and keep within that shape. That's the most important thing. So we're going to add some more foliage to the inside now. Coming out slightly from the outside. You can see this is great for this job because it sort of fills in some nice bulky foliage. There we go. I'll keep turning it around. I need to keep meaning to get a turntable. Something's come up with a little thing on there. I don't know what that is. Hello. What is that? Don't know what that is. A little message thing came up at the bottom, but don't know what that is. I need someone to help me with the with all the little icons at the bottom. So we're just putting a bit more foliage in the bottom. Obviously you want to hide the edge of the pot. There we go. You can see that. So we're just filling in nicely. So you see how nicely this fills in. Good morning, Donna. Oh, it'll be yeah, be very early there, won't it, in the USA? Right, so I'm now going to use some pittosporum. Put the boxes away. So we're going to use, this is the pittosporum, which is a great one to add to your garden, as I've told you 100 times before. It's a great, if you've got a little garden, or you can grow it in pots as well. I don't know how fast it would grow in pots. Never tried it, so you'll have to let me know. So we're putting a few pieces of that in. Put some in here. I'll use these as well. It's quite sunny here this morning, although it's very foggy. Very foggy when I woke up this morning. Aylesbury in Buckinghamshire. It's very cold. I think it's about, I don't know what the temperature is, I think it's about 1 degree at the moment. So, there we go. So that's probably as much as, you know, we need. Roughly, you can always put a bit more in if you see holes appearing. So you're just keeping your diamond shape at the bottom and your triangular shape at the top. That's the most important thing. Okay, do a bit more. I've also got some nice ivy leaves, which I've just wiped. We'll put a few of those in around the edge as well, just for a different shape. I like different shapes and different textures. So I'll put a few of those in. Margaret, morning Margaret, Happy New Year. So we're going to put a few of these around the edge. And these also fill in and hide any holes that you can see through the back plant, the back flowers as well, the back greenery I mean. And they're lovely, these big ivy leaves. If you just rub them with your hands, they come nice and shiny, and that's just from the oils in your hands. They just shine up lovely. You don't need leaf shine for these, although I do use leaf shine for most things. So all I'm doing now is I've just put about 4 or 5 through the back and round the front. Can you see that? Morning Jasmine. Okay, so we also need a little bit higher up here. So I'm going to put in a bit of, just to bring through the shape. I've got a couple of pieces of yew here. I'm just going to put a few of these through, just to follow the line through with the foliage. So you've got in different shapes, different textures, different leaves, just giving a nice overall shape. Right, and don't waste any bit. At the end of this bit, you can use that. You can always use it at the back as well. Obviously you're going to, but this is too nice to use at the back. So, and eucalyptus is quite, this is lovely. This is really scented one, this one. And again, if you've got any leaves that look a bit naff, just oil them with your hands and they look 10 times better. Okay, so you've got the leaf going through, different shapes of leaf. So that's probably about enough greenery, you know. And we will obviously fill in the back as well. Some people put a pom-pom ribbon at the back. It's a bit old-fashioned now. We don't tend to do that so much nowadays. But if you're strapped for greenery, you can just do that. Obviously, if you haven't got much bits of greenery left, you can do that. But I'm just going to use my old bits that I've got here, just to hide at the back. Got a nice bushy bit there. Almost does it in one go. Here. Because this is a gift for somebody, you want it to look nice all the way around. So even at the back, you want just to fill in basically. You don't want to see any of the oasis. All right, so that's the front. You see that better if I move it back a bit? There's so much light coming through this window. I just move this back a bit. Might be better. There we go. I think I need to get a blind for the. I've got a few more leaves here. I'm just going to put those through. Morning Paul, morning Suzanne. Your light isn't great. Going dark in places. I know, it's the light coming through the window, but if I turn it round, sometimes it's worse that way. So I'll try and stand in front of the light, and then that way, hopefully, it's better. See, that's too bright now. There we go. I'll try and keep my body in front of it. Alright, unfortunately I do have to move. So that's probably about as much foliage that you need. Alright, so we'll start with some flowers. Now, I'm going to outline in Lysianthus. This is Lysianthus. This is like a double variety. So you get single and double. Single is actually better for doing the outlining, but I couldn't get hold of any single today, so we will use this. So you just want nice long pieces. You get rid of most of the foliage. You can leave the top two ones if you want, and you're basically doing the same that you did with your greenery with your foliage. So, and it just comes just inside the tip. All right, so that's one. The next one will be a bit shorter. And just look at the shape of the flowers. You want to try and keep that shape of the ones you did before. Sometimes I don't want to go in the right way. Cut it a bit shorter. That's it. So like that. So you're kind of just going inside of the first two that we started. Turn it around. I can't do it from the back, I'm afraid. All right. So, and you can go down a little bit. You can sort of start staggering it down a little bit. So you're almost going like in a zigzag. Morning, Rosemary. There we go. All right. Try and stay here because then it won't. So we're going to do our points like we did from the outside as well. So that's the two cross beams, if you like, whatever you want to call them. So again, you're just keeping that diamond triangular sort of shape. So these are your tips here now, see? So you've got them just inside your greenery. Don't go outside of your greenery, otherwise again you've gone to the trouble of outlining with your leaves. So just bring your flowers slightly into that. And you can, if you've got a few bits that sort of you've pulled off, see that is just one stem I've used there. That's one stem of Lysianthus, and I've more or less outlined the whole. I've got 5 stems here, but you actually only need a couple to outline. Depends obviously how many flower heads and bits you get on it. But basically I've used 2 there, so that's pretty good. Okay, so keep your shape like that. Can you see that? So you've got your Lizzie, and you just use your Lizzie all the way around just to get the shape, that nice overall triangular shape. So they're your outline flowers. So you tend to have outline flowers, focal flowers, and filler flowers. So these are your outline flowers, and you've used those to outline your shape. And that's what you work within. So try not to work outside of that shape, and you'll do a great job. All right, you can put a few more if you've got a few more. I've just got that odd one there, I'm just going to use it there. Okay. Bring the flowers over on the right. So now I'm going to use some focal flowers. I've got 2 focal flowers. I've got some nice pink roses, and I've got some pink single chrysanthemums. Now with the roses, if you just look at the size of them, these are, I don't know where I got these from, I can't remember, but they're slightly different sizes. So the small, more pointy head ones, use for your longer ones, because they have more of a shape, more of a pointed shape. So we'll use those ones. Get rid of all the leaves on the roses because they don't usually look good. And then we're going in just a bit lower than your first Lizzie. So it doesn't have to be 100% straight, but just a bit lower than your Lizzie. So you've got your tip, you've got your first outline flower, and now you've got your first focal flower. And do the same with the other roses. You don't have to keep to that shape, you can just do a nice windy through shape, which is what I tend to do. So I'll put these in and then you can see. So the bigger ones I tend to use for the focal side at the front. Get rid of all your leaves off these. So we're just putting them in odd numbers usually because they look better. There we go. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Okay. Can't share the tutorial. No, because it's live. I don't think you can share it if it's live. You can share it when it's finished. When it's finished, it just goes onto the into the group. Suzanne, I think you can share it then. Very poor vision. Why is it very poor vision? I don't understand. I'm not on Wi-Fi. I'm on data now. It shouldn't be any problems. You should be able to see me. It's very clear this end. So I don't understand that, Donna. There we go. Anyway, so we're just going down now with our flowers. So we've got 3. We're going to use 5. So these 2 are slightly larger. So I'm tending to put those in the bottom. Obviously, you need to cut these a bit shorter. Doggy barking in the garden, if you can hear her. There we go. There we go. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going through like that. Then we're going to use our other focal flower, which is the single chrysanthemums, and we're going to put those through. And again, with chrysanthemums, I tend to get rid of all the leaves, unless you've got a few nice young ones at the top. I can leave that one on. And we're going to go in between. You want to go near the other flowers, but you don't want to really be touching them. So we've got 1 there. So again, get rid of all your leaves. It's going to be too long. I'm just going to move that rose, that first rose, because these are quite big, these chrysanthemums, but I do want to have 3 chrysanthemums in it. So we're just going to move that one down a bit first. Sometimes you have to reposition your flowers if they don't look quite right. Then you can move your rose accordingly. So I'm going to move the rose to the middle there. So you can see there now, I've just moved that 1 rose so that it sits between. Sometimes you shift things a bit about as you go along, but as long as you don't make too many holes in your oasis, you'll be fine. The top one can come down a little. This is gorgeous, but phone rang as you began. When can I watch it again, please? Okay, Jennifer. When it's finished, it'll go on. It'll go on to the group, so you can just click into it. Then it also goes. If you click into photos and media, I think in the top. Excuse me. All the videos go in there, so you can always see it later. So don't worry. All right. So can you see that there? I'll hold it up. There we go. So I've just moved that 1 rose that I had slightly to the left. I've moved it over. And I think my bit of Lizzie came out, so I'm just going to put that back. That's rubbish. Get rid of all your rubbish as you go along. Nice clear work surface always gives you better results, as I was taught. Okay, that's just that odd one there. So, oh, that one was a little one coming out. Okay, so, alright. Now, the other thing I wanted to put in was some tulips. These are like a nice, I don't know what colour you call them, deep, well, almost like a deep purple, really. And I just think that would be a nice contrast to the pink. Pink can sometimes look a bit wishy-washy. So with these, they've been standing in cold water with tissue paper around them so that they get nice and firm and easier to use when you're putting into Oasis. Sometimes into Oasis, if they're left too long and they go a bit leggy, that's what you want to do. If you want to work with them and get them nice and stiff like this, put tissue paper, brown paper around them, let them soak in cold water for a while, and then about 10 minutes, and then they should firm up, so it makes it easier for you when you're putting them into Oasis. Sometimes with Oasis as well, if they don't go in nicely, the best thing to do is get a pen, or you can use a stem, and make a hole in the Oasis first. It's a bit difficult here because I can't see where I'm doing it, but practice with Oasis. These are okay, I think, because they're nice and firm. They're going to go in fine. See, that one's just gone in straight away. There we go. So he's gone in perfectly. Because the stems are nice and hard and thick, you shouldn't usually have a problem. But if they're a bit softer, the ideal thing is just to put a pen in where you're going to put it, and don't go in as far as you want to push the flower, and then push it down a little bit further, and then it will just secure it. Okay. So I'm just going to wind my way through with the tulips. And the thing is with tulips as well, that they actually continue growing. So if you do them a little bit shorter than where you really want them to be, so if you're making this for someone maybe for a day's time, do it a little bit shorter. There we go. And then in about a day's time, this will be just where you want it. It'll have grown up a little bit. Sometimes it's easier to fill the end of the flower and feed it through from the back when you're doing and get rid of all the sort of bits of stem. You want a nice, clear, sharp edge, otherwise your tulip's not going to go in. You can leave a few of the leaves on. I quite like the leaves on them. It still gives it a nice shape. And a nice sharp edge. But again, say be careful, don't keep pushing them in. Just once, if it won't go in, take it out and make a hole with a stem or a pen and then put it into the hole. You don't want to keep damaging the Oasis, because that gives you less room to work with. So, I'm going to put a few on the outside, just within our points here. There we go. Now the thing is with these, they're quite difficult to see on the screen because anything blue or purple is a recessed colour. Morning, Helen. And you can't actually see them on the screen very well, but you can see them in real life, but on the screen you won't be able to see them so much. And I think they say that in photography as well. I was advised when I got married many years ago not to have, I wanted teal dresses, and they said no, you can't have teal. In them days anyway, probably now it's fine. They can do a bit of touch up on it now. They said no, it doesn't photograph very well, you can't have those. So I was a bit peeved, but anyway. That was then, a long time ago now. So, And it's like in church, when if you do church pedestals and things, they advise you not to use blue in those as well, because when you're in the congregation, when you look ahead, all you can see is the white and the brighter colours. You can't actually see where the blue colours are. So here we go. So that's kind of the shape. I'm going to use just going to fill in with a few more Lizzie. And I've also got a little bit of this daisy chrysanthemum. I'm just going to put a couple of those little ones just to bulk it in the middle a little bit. Just get rid of all the little odd bits, all the leaves. I know it seems quite criminal when you're taking off all the little flower heads. But we just want a little bit. I haven't got any dip or anything to fill in with today, so I'm just going to use these. So you're just going in between the flowers just to fill in. I've got one more I'm going to use on this side. Any that look a bit going the wrong way. I need to take those out as well. And that just goes into the centre. Like that. Okay. Please show how to wire the flowers. Well, I'm not wiring any of these today. I don't have any gerbils here to wire, so I can't really show you that. But if you look on some of the other Nadina, if you look on some of the other videos, I have done wiring. If you look on the how to fill a vase of flowers, I think that one, it shows you there how to wire gerbils. Okay. All right. Okay, so it's quite pretty. It's quite nice. I've got a little bit. I've also got a little bit of this. Oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to put in some little curls, as we said about the to bring in from the outline leaves. We said we're going to use some more. So I've done some of these. So I'll show you how to do these. So these are just from my garden. These are just yucca leaves. Just cut the tips off, twist them. You get a little circle. You can do these with lots of types of leaves. It's just called leaf manipulation, and just staple it a couple of times. Alright, so you get little circles, and again you want a nice sharp edge of what's going in. There we go. Another one down here, I think. So I'll show you how to do that again. We've got two there. So you see you can get a little different shape. Okay. There's another dimension. These are great with aspidistra leaves. I did say I was going to try and get an aspidistra leaf plant. I haven't had a chance to have a look, so I need to go to the garden centre to see. So I've done two of those. So basically, the hard bit is the bottom bit of this is what you're putting into your oasis. So the top, the tip, just cut it off. Just bend it round. Quite simple. Just use your hand. The heat from your hand, and then just staple. Just a couple of staples. Nice sharp edge, and they should go in. I'm just going to move this around because I need to do it at a different angle. That's another one that way. And I think we'll have another one up the top here. I'm quite into these at the moment. sometimes they don't go where you want them to go. Flowers are a bit thicker like that, so that's better. That's better. So you can see the shape. Can you see the shape there? You can see the different leaves. And then if you want to put a final sort of touch to it, I've got some, this is also from my garden, it's broom. This is lovely in the spring. Mine's sort of like an apricot colour. You get lots of lovely little flowers, but during this time of year you can just cut bits of it back and just use little sprigs of this. This is quite nice. It's a different texture again. I'll just go through with a few of those. One, 2, 3. We do one down here. And a few little bits at the front. Excuse me. You put it in, and then if it's too long, just trim it back a bit. We'll have one at the bottom. Okay. Excuse me. I'm just going to use a little bit of leaf shine on my yucca. Just to give it. Try not to spray your flowers though, the flowers don't really appreciate it. Excuse me, I've got to have some water. There we go. So that's kind of it really. Can everybody see it? Try not to get the light flashing behind me. So you've got your 3 focal flowers, your large chrysanthemums and your roses. You've got your outline with your lisianthus and you've got your filler with your tulips and a little bit of sort of like the Santini spray chrysanth in the middle. Alright, so that's our little one for today. Okay, so I hope you all had a great new year and you're all enjoying the group. If anybody of you can invite any of your friends, that'd be great. If you want to share the video, that's fine. I'm quite happy with that. You can share it with anybody if you want them to have a look, see how to do a front-facing arrangement. So this is this one. Probably next week we'll do the line arrangement because I think a few of you did actually want the line arrangement as well. So I do tend to put a poll out with a few options. So look out for that, and then that gives you an idea of the sort of things that are coming up. And if anyone's got any ideas of things they'd like me to do, I'm quite happy to have a go at them. We might do maybe a bit of silk with the glue gun, and I've bought a nice heart wreath, so maybe we'll do a silk heart wreath coming up to Valentine's. That would be nice. I've entered a little competition online as well called Jump Into Spring. I'd love to see any photographs you've got of things you've made. It has to be something you've made, not a picture of somebody else's picture. Something you've made, either any time now. It's up to the 23rd, I think, of January. I've had one entry so far, and if you click on it, you'll see it in the group. And then if yours is the winner, then you get to be on the top of the group title. You know, the picture at the top. We're going to put it up there for a month. So it's quite nice to have your picture up there live in the group. That'll be very nice. But if you can continue to invite your friends, that'd be fantastic. We're growing in numbers. I think we're almost at 1,500 now, so that's really good. So continue to invite your friends for me. That'd be fantastic. And as I say, this will be in the group, and you can watch it again. Morning, Leslie. Morning, Helen. Debbie, that's beautiful. Thank you, Helen. some of you have obviously missed it now, so just when this goes off, when we sign off, then you can just watch the catch up thing. So it'll be on the catch up. All right, so have a great weekend, everybody. Hope you're not working too hard, and I will see you next week. Okay, see you soon. Bye.